Adoption is one of the most important decisions that a birth parent would ever consider. It's a parenting decision. It's a decision that will impact the child for the rest of the child's life. It is a decision that can't be made without looking at all the options. We encourage that birth parent to work with professionals like the staff at Adoption Circle.
The staff at Adoption Circle works together as a team to make sure that each adoption is handled properly from start to finish, because every parent deserves that.
I was just at a time in my life where I've got 4 kids and I just couldn't do with another one.
I was a single mother working when I found out I was pregnant.
I was a freshman in high school, and my junior year we started dating, and it soon became this physical relationship and a sexual relationship. And I was going into I'd started my freshman year at Ohio State, and I found out I was pregnant. And that was really bizarre.
We actually founded the agency based on informed decisions and a choice. You plan your own adoption. You design your own adoption plan. It's a decision that you come to us and say that this is what I believe is in my child's best interest, and Adoption Circle is there to help you complete the decision that you believe is in your child's best interest.
Birth mothers up to that point had told me that it was, even though, Lori, you want to place the baby for adoption, maybe you should make a list of why, because when the baby's born, it's a whole nother ballgame.
Adoption is a permanent decision. It's not a decision you can go back on. It's not a decision to take lightly, and it's so important that every birth parent stay focused with their needs and their child's needs.
I was holding him in the nursery, and I felt like I could let go of him. It just hit me as I just prayed for him and about the whole situation, that I could let go of him. He was going to be okay, and I could do this for him, just for him.
Having another baby also makes me realize I really made the right decision. I know I'm more stable in my life now as opposed to then.
And I am so sure it was the right decision. I'm absolutely sure.
We did this out of love, not because we just didn't want a child. So it's broadened my horizons as to what I think I'm supposed to be doing.
Every adoption has to be done because birth parents believe in their heart of hearts that it is in the best interests of their child.
There are a lot of options that a birth parent can choose.
We offer all types of adoptions. For example, adoptive couples can choose between an open or a closed adoption.
Open adoption can mean where a birth parent chooses an adoptive family by reading profiles or birth parent letters, meeting the adoptive family, having ongoing communication.
When the agency meets with a birth parent, it's imperative that the social worker explain all of their legal rights.
So I wrote him a long letter and just said, well, how do you see me involved in Kyle's life in the future? But she wrote back and said, oh, we want to see you involved in Kyle's life as much as you want to be, for as long as you want to be, whether it be through visitations, telephone calls, letters, whatever. So I was really relieved. They were very open to whatever I felt comfortable with.
I don't expect to play mom to her because I'm not her mother. I didn't kiss her boo-boos. I didn't read to her at night. I didn't do those things. I'm her birth mother. And at most and at best that I would ever hope for is a friendship with her and her family.
The beauty of it, of working with Adoption Circle, is that you meet with your own adoption caseworker, your state licensed adoption assessor, who will sit down with you and help you design your own plan and to decide how much openness or how much of a closure that you would like in your adoption plan. The birth parent is provided, if they would like, letters that were written by our prospective adoptive parents that talk about their lives. They will include photos. They will give you a slice of how they live their life.
We wrote about our lifestyle, what we do, what our occupations are, about our religion, and then there was a section that Todd wrote about himself, and a section that I wrote about myself, and then a section that I wrote about our son and other aspects of our life.
Well, this is what I'm told from birth parents, is that they knew something in the profile that they read would trigger or click for them that I would like to meet this family, and then they meet, and then often that bond between the adoptive parent and the birth parent is formed, all based on what they believe is the best interest of the child.
When I read these profiles, it was all how they made themselves sound. You know, what was involved in their lives, or how they were raised as children.
And I have to say that the family profiles were I think the best thing that I looked at.
Then just came across one, and I called Susan and I said, these people really sound nice. When you write about yourself, it usually sounds so distant and so far away, you know, but they just made themselves sound so right here, so real.
One of the most wonderful things about working with Adoption Circle is watching families being created. And it's not Adoption Circle creating those families, but the birth families and the adoptive families finding each other. We just happen to be maybe the resource that helps people make these plans for their children. They're able to create a bond. It's like a bond that I've never seen anywhere else in my life. These people can focus on the needs of a child and to be able to put that child first.
But we just clicked. They were so nice, they were so warm, we just clicked. And so, you know, come to find out they chose me also, they liked me.
I was feeling bad when I first went into the meeting, but then when I met them, I felt so good after I left. I knew that they were the right people for my child.
This was never my child that I'm giving up. This is their child that I'm having for them. And that's how I looked at it from the day I met them.
I just feel like it's really important that you're honest with the birth moms right from the start, because you've got to develop a relationship with them.
Sometimes it may be something as what may seem as small as that the adoptive family likes to play Monopoly on Saturday evenings, or it could be the name of a pet, something that just clicks with them, and they realize they're not that different from each other, that they have much more in common than they do in difference. With Adoption Circle, we do monthly letters, and there'll be updates of how the child's doing. There'll be pictures of the child. Those letters can be there for you during the first year, once a month, and ongoing if you, after that, if you and the adoptive parents agree to do that.
So everything's working out very well. We talk on the phone frequently. We have letters back and forth every month and pictures.
I was grateful for them. I really was. Just to know what she looked like was the biggest relief, you know, because you don't want to go through life with a big mystery.
You know, birth mothers are going to have different levels of dealing with their plan. Some of them will be really excited to get those first letters and pictures, and some of them need some time.
When the agency meets with a birth parent, it's imperative that the social worker explain all of their legal rights.
A lot of girls have no idea what the adoption laws are, anything. I hadn't read the first book on it.
Birth parents have a number of legal rights, including the right to parent the child, the right to pursue an adoption plan, or the right to pursue foster care to give them more time to make an informed decision.
I'm bawling. I couldn't sign the papers, and Nancy and I talked for a while, and Nancy finally said, you know, if you're doing this out of obligation, then you're signing for the wrong reasons right now, and I'm not gonna let you sign. She said, anytime you don't feel in control of the situation, let us know, because you should always feel in control. It's not our decision, it's your decision.
And that's what Adoption Circle does, is that the child is the top priority with Adoption Circle, and what we found is that's what birth parents and adoptive parents want Adoption Circle to do.
Sometimes adoption plans are pursued by the birth mother alone, but often birth mother and birth father come together to make this decision. The rights of birth fathers are important to the agency, both legally and because they have a biological connection to the child. It's important to us that their interests be protected and considered in this adoption plan.
You become part of Adoption Circle's family, and our caring and compassionate and experienced staff is there for you anytime, day or night. There is a number that you would be able to call us, and that those services, again, are confidential and are provided with the utmost care and compassion. Adoption Circle has many services that are available to birth parents. The child is our first priority, and the birth parent often is at a difficult time in their life, and there may be issues with housing. We're able to assist with housing. We are able to arrange medical care. We're able to provide food assistance if needed, maternity clothes. There is absolutely no cost to the birth parent.
I'm proud to be associated with Adoption Circle. I believe that every member of the staff at Adoption Circle strives for the highest ethical and professional standards. And I believe that if you decide to work with this agency, you will receive superior service. So please consider Adoption Circle when you're thinking of your adoption plan.